So I have a friend that's been that way for several years now, and he's made a ton of stupid decisions. At this point, I think he's finally made some good ones. Well, he just bought a Duster, a reasonable deal on it. Right now, he can't work on it. He's got other shit going on. He needs to finish. But to store it right now, he's dropped it off at my house. It's got some issues with the way it runs. It's got a few problems. So if you're watching this, I think I'm going to go ahead and get you tuned up. The thing should be running perfect when you get it back. Hopefully we'll be able to start working on it, maybe do some other shit to it. So, got my buddy's Dart in, or not Dart, Duster. This is a Plymouth 73 Duster. So, of course, I'm still got my project going over here, but I also know how boring it gets to do the same thing over. So, I'm gonna take a couple days and look this car over, trying to figure out what all he's really got to do. Obviously, there's got some serious front end work. That side's folding up when you go forward and hit the brake. So this thing right now is not safe to be on the road. He drove it here, whatever. I mean, come on. It's got all those amazing stickers. That's good for performance, right? And what you really got to see, and I'm not making fun of the guy's car, but whoever worked on it before obviously cared about function over fashion. 100% good. So, evidently I left, it didn't charge last night. There's something wrong with my charger. It's not charging on one side, so wonderful. I don't have my GoPro right now, waiting on the battery. But as I was saying, there's going over this God, I'm gonna call it every name in the book but a Duster. Going over this old Ruster, we noticed how much the previous owner valued function over fit or fashion. I mean, look at this beautiful, and I'm sure it's needed and it's quite useful. Look at this rear spoiler. I mean, and the install job is what really does it in. I mean, look at that. Nothing like a good self-tapper just run right through the freaking deck lid. I mean, the body lines make so... I mean, it's got to add downforce, right? I mean, obviously. Come on, people. Now, I like the scoop on these cars. Look, oh. Look. Might take a screw through the middle of it, but it wasn't that one, I bet you. The front one, maybe. So, a little here and there. Yeah, windshield wipers, we don't need those. We ain't gonna drive us in the rain. So just a quick once over. The car don't look bad. I don't know how much filler's in it. We'll look into it a little deeper, but you can see somebody touched up his paint there. Oh yeah. Again, more of those beautiful stickers. Got the old-fashioned drag light wheels, skinnies up front. Not bad. Could probably use a little lower stance to make it look right, but I honestly think just a little bigger tire maybe. A little bigger tire in the rear, a little lower. Leave the front where it's at. He'd be about right then. A little stuff down in here, which is normal, but it doesn't until he gets to start seeing it. A typical little small block. Nothing super impressive or major. Crappy looking wiring job. Pretty typical of these. Looks like somebody blew the module over there and replaced it. See where it leaked all its goodies out. Top notch job there on the battery cables. Beautiful. That's the kind of workmanship that really grabs my respect. So, all right, let me get the back on skates so we can push this thing around, straighten it all up. And get the front end maybe jacked up. See what's going on with this front end, gonna give us an idea. Hopefully my batteries on my GoPro get charged up pretty quickly. And Talk about it then. All right, so I skated the back around a little bit. I'm gonna lift this front end up. And right now I just want to shake these front wheels and see how much play we got. So let me get that jacked up. We'll start another one. And I'm honestly scared what I'm gonna find on this front end, because watching it just pull up real slow, I was getting a whole lot of movement out of it. So he says maybe it's wheel bearings, but if that was the case, when he was driving over here, that thing would have been smoking hot. So I'm not buying the wheel bearings. But I'm gonna jack this thing up and I'll show you what I find. All right, so got this front wheel off. Do have a suspect. Might be totally off, but yeah, there's some movement there, not a lot. Didn't feel a whole lot of movement in that, but now as it gets all loaded, the front end of this thing has taken a bit of a hit. Kind of show you, there's a crack down there on this frame, so we're going to have to pull this thing pretty good ways apart to get to it. You can also see those bushings are absolutely shot, as I'm sure the bottom are. So we've got fresh bushings coming, and he was going to order all new tie rods and all that good stuff, but it looks like honestly the tie rods are already in it. We are going to go ahead and put ball joints upper and lower and clean this thing all up. So he's got a good list